Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in my video. So today I want to talk about really how we can overcome spiritual attacks, how we can overcome the devil, and just kind of exposing the devil and his tricks. And yeah, just talk about, spiritual warfare, overcoming lust. And so, the devil, Satan, he's the master of illusion, right? Deceiving so many people, millions of people, right? He's the master of illusions. He blinds us from God's truth. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4 says, "As the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of God." He creates illusions to distract us from our purpose. He fuels lustful desires. In John chapter 8, verse 44, it reveals, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires." So, you can get easily caught up in that trap, if you're not careful, and, just like as an example, right? An example that I love that Gabe Dog came up with, this is inspired from him. It's like he puts you in a palace that's really a prison, and it's all decorated all nicely and everything looks all nice, and your chains are made of gold, so it makes you feel like a king, but you're really in prison. You're just trapped, it's a lot like that, your chains are made of gold. The prison is decorated marvelously. Everything just looks all shiny and pretty. And, the devil's the master of the illusion. He's the master of illusions. And your chains are made of gold. But really, you're just stuck in prison. It's just like an example. And another example is, that I've mentioned before, is it's like a piece of dog poop that's painted gold. That's all the devil has to offer you. Just a piece of crap. It's just kind of some good examples, So yeah, one of his deadliest illusions is lust. Matthew chapter 5, verse 28 says, "But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This starts a deadly cycle. One, desire. We see something appealing. Two, obsession. We constantly think about it. Three, action. We act on lustful desires. 4 is shame. Guilt consumes our hearts. 5, repeat. The cycle continues. The consequences of lust include broken relationships, shame, and spiritual death. So it just leads to, so many negative consequences. Broken relationships, all these negative consequences: brain fog, depression, anxiety, not having the Holy Spirit with you, spiritual death, just being cut off from God, Now to talk about breaking free. How do we break free? You recognize the illusions. You ask God for discernment. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13 says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so you can endure it." And resist lust. Practice self-control. Galatians 5, verses 22 and 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." And you replace lust with love. You focus on God's love and you spread it. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8 says, "Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." You replace lust with God's pure love. Now you know Satan's tricks and how to break free. Share this video with someone who needs it. What's your favorite way to resist lust? So this was my ideas with the guidance and scripting from AI. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, we can always overcome the devil's tricks. You know, we can always practice discernment through the Holy Spirit. You always have the ability to recognize, you know, what's truly from God and what's from the devil. You know, pray for discernment. Pray for the spirit of discernment, and pray for strength to resist temptations. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. That's all I gotta share. Hope this inspired y'all. Hope this helps y'all in your spiritual journeys and overcoming lust. And yeah, catch y'all in the next one. Take care.